Okay guys, welcome to Pygame tutorial 2. Okay, now we're just going to try getting the fundamentals here. Okay, we're going to get most of it done. Okay, most of the main stuff. Then we're going to do some fun stuff. Okay, so see this down here? We allowed ourselves to move down. But in gravity, you can't move down yourself. Gravity moves it down for you. And obviously this is a platformer, and we have gravity here. Let's just remove down, shall we? Yep, goodbye down. Okay, so now that we got down removed, we now do not have the compatibility of moving down. So, yeah. Now, let's say we needed to keep track of the health because, well, we need the guy to die to make the game a game. We need it fun, right? So we're gonna add some health, 100. But obviously, currently the class does not take the parameter of health, right? And it's not gonna save it. So we're going to add here. It says health is equal to none. Now this should add the health parameter for us. Health is equal to health. Nice. Now we're keeping track of health, which is very, very important. Now, another thing that we need to add as really, really important is tracking the display's width and height. We don't know it. Now, to make sure we do know it, we're going to store those in variables. But how do we get it? Well, Pygame helps us. We have a method to do that, right? DW and DH. DW is going to be display width, and DH is going to be display height. Now we're going to put in a tuple. Pygame.display.info is going to be just the display info. But we also need current underscore W. Now this is going to get us the width. Now we're going to do that again, but this time we're not going to try getting the width, we're going to try getting the height. So instead of pygame.display.info current underscore W, we're going to do current underscore H. Current underscore H. Now, we're already keeping track, right? Pygame has a very easy method like that. Now, we added all those fundamentals, but what did we delete down for? For gravity, right? But what are we going to do with gravity with no floor, right? Otherwise, it's going to fall infinitely. So let's add a floor here. Okay, we're going to do pygame.draw.rect window. Then we're going to do the RGB 90, 100, and 70. Okay, this is random. You can choose this whatever you want. Okay. Now for the floor, okay? Now for the fundamentals of the floor, we're going to do the X, 0. The Y, this is where DH comes into play, and do DH minus 500. So only 500 pixels will show, okay? And then we're going to do width. How long should it be? We're going to do it as long as the display width. How long the display can even show it, right? Which is DW. And now we're going to do the next part, which is this, the height. Now it's 500 to make sure it goes all the way down till the end of the screen, right? To the most bottom of the screen. And that's a working floor. Now let's just go for a test, shall we? And look at that, we have a floor. Obviously this is an awful green color. We will fix that. And also look, we have no gravity. We're gonna add gravity now, okay? But it's going to be like Flappy Bird gravity, where if you're holding up, gravity does not exist, but if you're not holding up, gravity does exist. That's my favorite type of gravity, and that's what I'm trying to name this platformer, right? Player.y is Yeah, less than this, okay? Now, what are we going to make it less than? That's the part where the floor comes in, right? Because we have a floor. That's the thing that's going to limit us. If player.y is less than dw minus 500 minus player dot h. Now, you may be confused, why are we doing that, right? So dw minus 500 is still the floor, but that's still the floor. We also have our own height. The player has its own height, meaning we also have to subtract from that too, right? Because we want to make sure that it doesn't just go through the ground. We just want it to keep up, right? So we're going to do minus player.h too. Now, this means if this is here, if this is true, that means that we're too high up. Meaning we're going to just do player.y plus equals speed. Yay! Now we have falling. Yay! And we hit the ground. But look, we still went through the ground. I actually made a mistake here. Sorry, guys. That was by accident. Sorry, guys. Really sorry. Okay, now that was there. I accidentally did DW. Sorry. Anyway, that was that. Now we hit the ground, and you saw that there was no space between us and the ground, and we weren't through the ground again. Okay, that was the floor. Now, what if we're at the end line? What if we're at the end of the screen? What do we do then? That's where we detect the end line. Okay, we're not actually going to put it here. We're going to put it right here. If player.x is greater than or equal to dw. Now this is going to detect if it is past the current, if it's past the screen, or it's right equal to where the screen is. Now if that is true, then let's just set player.x, just to show a little symbol, we're going to set player.x to 80, okay? Now, this is just to see if our thing works. Let's look here, okay? Let's fall, yay, it's fun, right? Now we're hitting the ground, and let's go to the end. And yay, since we moved here again, that means we did detect it. Now that's the fun part, because we can just move through that way. I will not add this for the left side, even though we can do it. If you guys want, we can do it. Just write in the comments below. But I'm not going to do it this time, because if it's left, then they can just get to the end of the screen easily, and that's kind of just cheating. They just teleported, right? Anyway, now here comes my favorite part, okay? The following enemy. The enemy that's going to follow the player. Okay. Now we're not going to add health loss yet or anything like that, but we are going to add the enemy. So, now let's go. We're going to create a function. We're going to move this function into a separate file later, because we're going to have a lot of these functions. And we're just going to do it get enemy pause. Right? Get enemy pause. And here's what we're going to take as parameters. We're going to take it player as a parameter. We're going to take it enemy as a parameter. But remember, we have to track the enemy too. You know what that means. We'll just do that in a second. Okay? Now we're also going to take speed as a parameter. How fast should this go? Okay. Now we're just going to quickly add an enemy class right here. Enemy is equal to tracker. Now instead of spawning him at the same place, we're gonna, for x value, we're gonna do dw minus 200. Now this is gonna do it at the opposite of the screen, right? And then for the y value, we're going to do 100. And then for obviously the width and the height, we're gonna do 20, 20. We're gonna do it the same size, right? Everyone should be equal. And the health, 100. Because we're also going to get it. It's not the boss battle where he has like 5,000 health or something. Right? It's just 100 for the enemy as well. Okay? So now we're going to get where we should put the enemy. So if we're going to do if player.x is greater than enemy.x, then that means that the player.x is toward more of the right. We're also going to do enemy.x plus equals 1. Actually, no, speed, sorry. Right. Now this means that if the player is more to the right, it's also going to move closer to the right. That's why we call it the following enemy. Now we're also going to do if player.y is less than, player.x is less than enemy.x. Now this means that it's toward more of the left, the player. Now this guy is also going to go toward the left. Remember, he's the following enemy. We're going to do speed. Then we're going to obviously do it for height too, for y value. Player.y is greater than enemy.y. Then that means it's actually toward more of the bottom than the enemy is. Right? We're going to do enemy.y plus equals speed. And obviously, I bet you already guessed it for the other one. Enemy.y, right? We're going to do if enemy.y is less than enemy. If player.y is less than enemy.y, then we're the following enemy, guys. You gotta follow them around. Okay. Now, right here, right before this, we're also going to get the enemy's new position. Okay? We're going to do get, we're going to do enemy, oh wait, yeah, we forgot to do a return statement, didn't we? Okay, return enemy, okay? So this is going to give us the new enemy positions on where the enemy should now move, obviously at a certain speed, right? So enemy is equal to get enemy pause, right? The function that we just created, player, which we're going to supply player, enemy, which we're going to supply enemy, and for the speed, well, since we're going to make it a little slower than this guy, we're going to do a speed of 2, okay? It's going pretty slow, but he's the enemy. He's not any boss battle where he's going at 2,000 pixels per second, or something like that, right? So enemy is equal to get enemy pause. Now we need to draw the enemy to the screen. Obviously, you guessed it, we're going to do another rectangle. We will change these soon. Don't worry, I'll post some assets in their description when we do it, not yet. Right? We're going to do 50, 70, and 10. I'm just getting out random colors. If you guys actually want to choose it, you can just Google up hex color picker, and then you can, see which RGB you need. Okay, so we're going to do enemy.x, enemy.y, enemy.w, enemy.h. Now, if we did everything correctly, this should work. Yeah, look, he's following that guy already. Little stalker right here. And look, if you move that way too. He is moving a little slow though. Right, he's a little slow person. Actually, let's just raise it to 4, just for this guy. This guy is going almost the same speed. Look at that. And now they're going the equal speed that the green is overlapping over this guy. Yeah, look at that. Would you just look at that? This guy is such a stalker. Okay, we're just going to put it in 2. We're going to keep it at 2. Okay, this guy follows too much. Anyway, now, that is it. But, did you just see that we couldn't move up? Now we need to add this thing. And, we're going to put an and, not keys pygame.k underscore. Now this is going to make sure, actually we're also going to do not keys pygame dot K underscore up. This should detect that as long as we're not pressing up or W, right? This is gonna make sure that we can go down. So now this is Flappy Bird-ish, right? So if I go with this, I can go as up as I want to. Stop following this little guy. This guy follows me too much. Now we can also go down, up, and down, and up, and down. And we can go as long as we want, right? This is like almost Flappy Bird physics level. And that is it for this video, okay? If you like this video, hit the like button and leave a comment down below to see how you like this tutorial, okay? If you have any suggestions for the next video, if I should add anything else, write it down, okay? Until next time, see you.